AOA podcast back for another episode. Friday show, Frankie C. How you doing, big dog?
Doing good, baby. It's Friday and I'm loving it.
Loving it too, man. I love a Friday episode. I love the Friday episodes because we get to have a little more fun. We got a game coming up.
Absolutely.
Very
Best thing on the show. Always love game time. Erin comes on, does an amazing job.
She's phenomenal. You know what game we're playing?
I don't.
I'm not telling you.
You don't know either.
Stay tuned.
You have no idea.
I have no idea. It'll be a surprise for everybody.
All right.
Just like the Secret Service, which now features some whistleblowers coming forward to give some details on why there was such a big failure during the Donald Trump assassination attempt.
Interesting.
President Biden bites back at everybody who says he needs to get out of the race. We'll give you the latest details there. Here's a bombshell. Credit Paul. He had this first for me. Turns out that Jeffrey Epstein knew Steve Bannon and they worked together before Jeffrey Epstein was Jeffrey Epstein.
Get out of here.
And yet another link to Donald Trump there. The Amazon Prime scam. We'll fill you in. We'll see if you got scammed. Details at 11.
Did I get scammed?
Matt Gaetz is not a nice person. And the Trump supporters are out of control. Plus, we have a game time. Oh, my goodness, Frank, don't look now, but that's a podcast. We're going to get to all those stories and more. But first, a little personal news. My mother is up visiting from Florida, and she has COVID.
So, is she in a bubble?
Yes.
Okay. So, I mean, she's up from Florida because of a funeral.
Which it doesn't look like we could attend now. So, yeah, she's got the vid, just found out she was not feeling
okay.
She's okay. She's very, very tired. She slept the whole day. But now should I send her to go get tested or send my father to go get tested?
Is she okay? Probably should have been my first question, but third is just as good as first.
I know you never really liked her. It's fine.
Right.
So she's got it. He doesn't. So now we have to play musical beds. So my father is sleeping in my daughter's bed, and my daughter is sleeping about 4 feet away from me right now. So
she's right there.
She's right here. So there shan't be any yelling. There will be all happy words, and I hope she falls asleep very soon with her eyes closed.
Is she aware of the rundown? I mean, these aren't happy stories, and it doesn't look like
she's aware of the rundown. She's got a lot to say about Epstein and Bannon. She has a lot of thoughts. Who knew this was a big thing in the first grade? But they're talking about it, I guess.
Hey, it's making big news everywhere.
Well, here's the thing: knowing Jeffrey Epstein, you have to warn them. They have to know what to avoid. You know what I'm saying? If there's another Epstein on the horizon, they got to know what to look for. So, big discussions.
That's terrible.
Yeah, she's going to go into second grade going, do you know who Jeffrey Epstein is? It's going to be a nightmare. Boy. It's going to be a nightmare. It's already starting with my son. My son comes down and goes, Donald Trump's not a good person. I'm like, where are you hearing this from? I'm like, is Uncle Frankie texting you? What is happening right now? Because I don't mind that he's...
a newsletter.
It's the newsletter. I don't mind that he says it, but I don't know if you know this, to steal a line from my wife, but we live near the Hamptons. It's in Suffolk County, Long Island, which is the Alabama of New York. We live in the Alabama of New York. So a lot of red around these parts here, a lot of red. And I don't want him rolling into school saying that stuff, getting his ass kicked in the third grade, getting his butt whipped.
What made him say that?
I don't know. No, I don't know. I can't figure it out. I think at one point he asked me, we were talking about, he asked me about COVID a year ago. And I explained to him, Donald Trump got voted out because people thought he did a bad job with COVID. That's all I ever said to the kid. And now here we are all this time later. And he's like, Donald Trump was not a good president. I'm like, where are you getting this from?
And he didn't say?
No, he's just like, I hear it around, Well, we think he has
a smart kid.
We think he has one liberal friend because this kid's parents are teachers. They're intellectuals. So we're assuming liberal. And then everybody else.
You are just taking shots at the right today.
Yeah, everybody else is a little more common folk. So I think they're a little bit more right leaning. So My wife's giving me dirty looks. I think we should move on to the first topic. So anyway, Jay Sabs is in the thing. Oh, look, she's mad that my parents even got tested. Look at this. Jay Sabs is on a roll here.
Why would you test? What are you talking about?
Well, we had to know if she was. She didn't feel that good. Well, it's because she needed to know if she could go tomorrow. Like that's the thing.
Why would she? Of course,
she's pretty devastated about it too that she can't attend. It's like her oldest friend. It's very, very heartbreaking. I mean, she was there when she passed. So they got to spend some time together. The whole thing is tragic.
Yeah.
Anyway, Friday show. Let's pick it up a little bit. So let's qualify everything we're going to discuss with the Secret Service by saying Josh Hawley, who is
Josh Hallway.
What did I say?
No, it's Hawley, but I call him Hallway because that shot of him running from the January 6th mob.
Right.
Through the hallway.
So Hallway is a Republican senator from Missouri. Yes. And this is what he is saying. And this is breaking news. This has literally just come out. So he announced earlier that multiple whistleblowers have contacted his office alleging that the security detail during Donald Trump's rally in Butler, Pennsylvania last weekend was considered loose by the security team. This is what he said. Here's a quote for you from Hawley. Whistleblowers who have direct knowledge of the event have approached my office. According to the allegations, the July 13th rally was considered to be a loose security event. He said he has demanded answers in a letter to Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas for the Secret Service's security failure allowing a gunman to allegedly attempt to assassinate Donald Trump. Detection canines were not used to monitor entry to the event and detect threats in the usual manner. He said, quote, individuals without proper designations were able to gain access to backstage areas. Department personnel did not appropriately police the security buffer around the podium and were also not stationed at regular intervals around the event's security perimeter. Hawley sits on the Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs Committee. He opened a whistleblower tip line to his office this week, pledging to keep the line anonymous for those who call with information.
So is this just this event, or have all events been like this?
I don't know.
All right.
I don't know. But he went on to say that some of the people that were protecting the president were not Secret Service, but were part of Homeland Security. Like some of the people who jumped on the stage, Secret Service.
Right.
But the other people around, like he was basically saying there should be more Secret Service there, but they were Department of Homeland Security staff, which is not exactly what, right? Because they should have full Secret Service protection,
right? Which
is not good. So he's sent a letter to Kimberly Cheadle, the head of the Secret Service, and by the way, she confirmed today that she will testify before the House Oversight Committee on Monday.
All right.
So we'll find out some more from her exactly what goes on. But let's not forget, she was the one who said we didn't put anybody on the roof because it was a little too sloped.
Yeah, that's
not great.
That's not great.
The Department of Homeland Security Office of Inspector General has also opened an investigation into how the Secret Service handled the security for the event. So lots of investigations still to go. But
there's a lot that divides us these days. But I think both sides can agree that Secret Service fucked up this whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, everybody's on that side of this did not go well. And there were some major holes in the security.
Because that's one of those issues where it's an American issue. It's not a Democrat, Republican. Yeah. You're right. It's not. It's because you want both sides to be protected. This is all part of the system. You know, we want the current president to be protected, future presidents to be protected, people who are running for president to be protected. It's all super important.
Past presidents, whatever, whoever, everybody that has detail.
That's enough with. I think we could actually cut from that area, but they're on.
Well, Trump is a past president. That's why before he
He's a candidate.
decided to run. Well, he had Secret Service before he, I mean, I guess he was always running, but I guess before he officially announced it.
One of my favorite series ever is John Adams on HBO, and there's this great scene where when he loses his election and he's no longer president, he literally walks out of the White House and catches like a cab. It's like a big buggy. Remember that?
I didn't see it.
Oh, this is all these regular. It's like one of those huge carriages from back in the day, and he like hops on, and they're all like, they know they're in the, and they know it's him, and he's like, "Quit staring! I'm just a normal citizen now." He like scolds them. He's like. It's so crazy to see how far we've come. But I mean, up until Lincoln, there was no protection really.
Yeah. We went 15 presidents without Secret Service.
Yeah. And every time it's scary to say, but every time there was a lapse in security, that's really when we added proper security, like every step of the way. Like you can go from Lincoln to Kennedy to Reagan to like every step of the way. They're like, oh, we should put Secret Service on top of the White House to monitor at all times, like not just standing by. Like there was a great documentary on that of like, here's where we fucked up, here's where we messed up, and here's where we've now. That's why we have this now.
Yeah, the fuck ups. Exposed.
My daughter's right here.
Oh, okay. She can't hear me though, right?
No, but she heard me.
She can only hear you. The mess ups will, expose different holes, and this is a huge one. So,
massive hole.
Yeah, so this is going to be, I'm sure, moving forward. I mean, I'd wondered now. I mean, he's gonna. I don't know when his next rally is, but I wonder what the detail is going to be like. I'm sure it'll be double, triple, whatever the hell. It's got to be just like an overabundance of security at the next thing.
Yeah. And what's interesting too, the farther away you are from the presidency, the less your detail actually gets. So like Jimmy Carter, I mean, I think he's got a part-time kid working,
an intern.
He's got an intern. Yeah. Yeah. Like I know when Bill Clinton came and I was at that event, you could plainly see two people next to him, but we know there were more, but you couldn't really see who they were. But you would be surprised at how, I mean, I was at least, at how open he just kind of walks around.
Right.
Like it's not that big of a deal. Like I saw it and I was kind of like this. I don't know. I feel like this is how it starts in the movies. Like there's just two dudes and then all of a sudden,
right.
16, guys come out of a black van and with guns.
I'm sure they're swarmed. I'm sure they're everywhere.
Yeah. I mean, they're definitely, I'm just saying like there's 16, like, terrorist dudes come swarming out of a van all in the full black with the thing and the vest and the clips and then, and then all of a sudden he's gone. You know what I'm saying?
Who knows how many of his guys are around,
Yeah.
Who's in the trees or who's, posted half a mile away or whatever.
There was definitely, I remember there was at least 2 or 3 or maybe even 4 more. Cause I'll never forget me and Nancy Atlas. We were sitting there as everybody was going crazy over him. And we were like, this is weird. And then you kind of saw like another couple of dudes just kind of like standing there and not react. Like when the whole place goes, oh, and then there's just a couple other dudes just standing there. You're like, oh, that's probably.
There they are.
Yeah.
Got them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's that. The whistleblower line open now. I'm be curious to see, because again, and if you want the full details on all the security lapses, go back and watch the last episode because we really covered it all from A to Z there. In fact, there's been a couple, Frank, of like new, different angles, different images, different videos that we haven't seen. There was a video of that I found pretty interesting behind the stage. The police were ramming gates because there was like a gate that went around the whole area and it was locked. And so the police couldn't get out of the security area. So there were police like hopping the fence, and there was one police car that was trying to ram the fence down just to get over and get to the building where Thomas Matthew Crooks was.
Jeez.
Which is just kind of, it was kind of crazy to see. Like they can't even.
That's called we have no plan and we'll see how it goes if something happens.
Exactly.
That's not the way to do that.
Yeah. Just flat out zero plan.
Man.
I know. Isn't it scary?
It really is. Makes you wonder. Do they? I'm sure you would think that they would have to have a plan for every major event that he goes to. Like, here's the layout. Here's what we do in case of this. I understand if he's like doing a quick stop in at like like when they go to like he stops into a diner or something, says hello. I'm sure they have people posted everywhere. But then if he's jumping place to place to place to place, maybe they don't have like a huge plan for every single spot. But I'm sure they have everything covered. You would think that they have all the exits. They have, people around him that would, and they send people ahead of him. Maybe there's got to be a plan for, nothing could be a surprise. That's the thing.
Right.
That's, you have to be ready for every single possibility when in terms of where he's going and who could possibly be in the area. You got to be ready for all of that.
Yeah.
So I don't know why. Again, I would be very curious to see if this specific event, the rally, was the only time security was this bad, or if it's every rally.
Yeah. Well, because, and remember, I think he took a little time off, but it was fairly soon where he started back up with the Saturday rallies. Like every Saturday he was going somewhere.
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, he never really stopped. I mean, remember, they at some point during his presidency, they kind of determined, oh, he's really only good in the rally situation. So he kept doing rallies while he was president. And then after, when he wasn't, there was maybe 3 months, 6 months. I don't really remember. And then all of a sudden he started popping up doing the Saturday rallies again.
Which, while he's president, it's like, stop it. What are you doing?
You're already there.
Maybe towards the end when you're campaigning, but even then it was COVID and no one's going to these rallies. It's like, what are you doing? You're in the White House. Work. You're not supposed to be doing rallies. You're supposed to be doing your job.
Yeah. Supposedly Thomas Matthew Crooks. So there's new footage of him too. Remember, we said he was spotted an hour before the event there. Somebody has footage of that now, so we could actually, I would show you, but he's just walking around in the distance. That's really it. And then, according to one of the latest reports, he was there in the morning. So he went to the rally in the morning. He went to the grounds, walked around, left, and then eventually came back.
Jeez.
So he bought the ammunition. We also know what his last search term was, and it was for corn. Daughter's in the room. Corn.
Ah.
So cleaned one out, polished one off before. You got to have a clear head. I got it. If you're going to assassinate somebody, I guess you can't be in there with all that testosterone.
I guess I don't know.
That's what his last search term was. As far as any other evidence about Thomas Matthew Crooks, they believe there's a report out there that he, on a gaming platform, did write, July 13th will be my premiere. Watch as it unfolds.
That's big.
Kind of big. But
that's major. So this guy had it planned for a while.
Yeah. But
so when was that? When did he write that? That had to be, what, months ago? You all right?
Yeah, sorry.
No.
Can you hear me?
Slightly.
Oh. Sorry, there we go. Sorry, I hit the little thing here. Sorry.
Right.
When did he write that? Let me see. Do I know when he wrote that? July? No, we don't.
We don't know.
No, we don't know when he wrote it. But they said that he wrote that, and he also searched on his laptop were searches for Trump, searches for Biden, search for when was the DNC convention, and he searched obviously the July 13th Trump rally. Which, here's the other crazy part: if Trump doesn't go there, I don't know if this happens.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It seems like it was in his neighborhood, right?
If Trump doesn't, he doesn't go to his backyard. I'm not sure if this ever really takes place. Although we don't know, because again, he searched for the DNC. So was this kid thinking, after I do Trump, I'm gonna go to Chicago and get Biden?
Or is it whoever's closest, soonest?
Yeah, whoever I can get. I really don't know,
because I don't know if he saw him, like remember we discussed on the last episode. I don't know if he saw himself getting out of there.
Right, because he had the explosives in his car.
There was that plus. How do you think you're going to get out? Like as soon as you take those shots, there's a huge target on you. I don't know how you think you're going to run away from that.
No, I don't know. Yeah.
What are you going to just get up and climb back down the ladder and just walk away? I don't.
They're also saying he used an air conditioner. I guess there was like an air conditioning unit, and he used that to hop up.
Oh.
And hop up on another part and then get up onto the roof. But I mean, he was on that roof for an uncomfortable amount of time.
Yeah, with the gun.
With the gun already there. So I wonder. And again, we don't know. This is speculation. Did he bring the gun in the morning and just leave it up there? I don't know. I mean, that's pretty risky.
How do we know he was there in the morning?
I don't know. It was part of the this is all coming out from the investigation. It's everything we're telling you is from the investigation. So what they're saying in the oversight committee right now is where it's coming from. Cheadle, by the way, went to the Republican National Convention and met with Trump, and they spoke. And then on her way out, she was like accosted by other Republicans, and they were just berating her. Like there's video footage of it, and they're like, you got to answer these questions, and they were hitting her with it, and she was just like, I will go in for the committee and I will testify. She's like, this is not the place to be doing it. But I mean, I don't know, because it's like, it's always weird. Like, do you fire the CEO of a company because this particular branch over here did something really bad? Does the CEO know every little detail of
that's a big
everything?
Yeah, I mean, those are your two. I mean, you got two major. When it comes to Secret Service, you have two major people to focus on. I mean, outside of that, you have some.
Well, that's not entirely true, right? Because
that's true. Then you got like representatives and whoever.
Biden, the leadership, I think, gets Secret Service. I know they get Capitol Police protection, but I think there's some Secret Service there.
Sure.
In the leadership, Kamala gets Secret Service. You have all the former presidents.
Right.
Kennedy was getting Secret Service attention. I know he's definitely getting it now, but I think he had a couple of agents since he was running for president. Trump has it as a former president and as a candidate.
Yeah, no, I'm sure there are representatives in Washington, who senators. I'm sure some senators had it, or the House Speaker of the House probably has.
Right. The leadership. Yeah. There's a guy. I don't know who the gentleman was, but Jacob Canfield is the person who put it on TikTok where I first saw it. But there was a guy who was sitting behind Trump and to Trump's right, and he's zoomed in on Trump, so you literally can see the ear that got shot. And I'm watching this video, and I'm like, oh my god! They're like never before seen footage. I'm like, oh my god, this guy's on it. Then he zooms in, and it's so close. I'm like, oh my god, we're gonna see his ear get blown off. Literally, the second before the shot goes off, the guy turns the camera to himself, and he's like
of course,
and the gunshot goes off. I'm like, oh my god, he missed the most. He would have had the shot.
Yeah.
And because he was so self-centered and turned on himself, nothing. He's got nothing.
Dick.
Could you imagine?
Oh, that's terrible.
One of the crazier things that I saw this week.
I can't imagine there isn't at least 100 angles.
There is, yeah.
There's got to be, right? There's got to be. You figure 1 in every 5 people probably was recording it on their phone.
That's a good number. Good on you. I would agree with that. Yeah.
I would imagine. I mean, you gotta, and he's got people behind him. He's got people in front of him. There's got to be a million angles.
Yeah, there was a lot, and it's all kind of starting to leak out too and to come forward. I mean, they all gave this stuff to all the FBI. I'm assuming they've been in touch with like a lot of people, but now it's all starting to creep out slowly. So, yeah.
That's a lot of, I'm sure if someone in the crowd, I'm sure they've got them. With this investigation, I'm sure everybody who was there, who was taking footage, is like sending it in. There's got to be like if you were at this rally, send us your footage.
Yeah, 100%.
If there isn't, there should be.
And then the last thing I want to say is there's been some great graphics. There's one from, I think this is from CBS. they kind of like recreated the angle. What's weird is Thomas Matthew Crooks is on the wrong side of the building. I don't really know how it happened, but he's not up and over the peak. He's on like this side of the peak. So it's kind of weird how the angle of which he got it, which made him a little hard to see from.
So he's probably using the peak as a
bit of as a bit of a block. Yeah, but I think he was a little bit. He's farther down than you would think, if that makes any sense. Like you'd think he'd be right up on the peak. He's not. Weird. He's back a little bit.
When you see footage of him, like the initial footage that first came out, like the day of or the day after, you see, I feel like he looks very like he was on an almost level area. It didn't look like he was on a slant at all.
It's really not that bad of a slant. I don't know what that idiot was talking about.
He was lying on his stomach, looked like, and he didn't seem to be on any kind of an angle.
Yeah, and then they recreated the area. CBS was this wonderful graphic, and so he has a clear shot of Trump. But the Secret Service snipers who were behind Trump, there was a tree there. So they're thinking like that tree might have given him a bit more, because even though his angle's clear to Trump, the snipers are off in this direction, but there's a tree in between them and Thomas Matthew Crooks. So that might have helped him a little bit, give him a little coverage.
Yeah, maybe, but they got him immediately after the shots anyway.
I think 11 seconds, they said. I think it's 11 seconds after the first shot. They spotted him at 11 seconds after the first shot. 15 seconds after the first shot, he was gone.
Yeah.
Done. And somebody, I don't know who it was, sorry, because I just get so many messages. Somebody sent me a picture of Thomas Matthew Crooks afterwards.
Ooh.
I don't know if it's real because he sent me, I don't know where it was. I'll have to try and find it, Frank. Again, I apologize. It just comes in from so many Discord, Twitter, Instagram, like it's everywhere.
But anyway, it's real. You can't.
I don't know if it's real. Do you want to see it? I'll send it to you.
Okay. No, I'm good.
I wouldn't want to share it, spread it around too much because I don't think that's responsible.
It could be. You don't know if it's real. It could be an AI thing or someone made it up somehow.
James, thank you. It was James. Yeah, because he said he did have social media and he sent me a screenshot of Thomas Matthew Crooks on, it looks like Instagram maybe, but it's not him. I mean, I don't think it's him. It doesn't really look like him. And then the other photo he sent me is him up on the roof afterwards. And that is extraordinarily convincing because it's him, his face, he's kind of like face down and it looks like somebody's lifting up his face. And the person who's lifting up his face looks exactly like the people. Did you see that shot of like the two guys in like army gear afterwards? That they're standing up on the roof after it's done. That
sounds vaguely familiar.
Kind of some famous footage now. It looks like that person is holding him up so that people could take a picture of his face. I don't know how the hell this got out. And the roof looks like the roof. I don't know how the hell this got out, but it looks very realistic. So I don't know where this James guy got it from, but thank you for sending it to me. I mean, my nightmares will be haunted for the rest of my life.
Yeah, so I'm good. Thanks.
But yeah. Also, Diane on what am I on here? Instagram asked me to please start referring to Kamala Harris as Selena Myers from here on out. Cuddles really like that one. Yeah, and I think we might be doing that. That sounds like good policy that we need to enact on this podcast.
That's I don't know if that's positive or negative. That's positive, I guess, right?
No, I don't think so. Well, I feel like the vice president. Tough to do. I've been pumping up. You could do anything. I've been using Kamala for that. You can do it. If you really want to. But I feel like there are some similarities there where, because you've ever seen Veep?
Yes.
It's kind of like she's always brushed aside, she's always like, they really exaggerate that the VP is USELESS.
But I feel like that's every VP.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. It's just a funny,
it's
just a funny comparison. All right. Janine has requested the photo, so I'm going to send it to her.
Individually. Don't send it to us.
I will not send it to the group. I'll send it to her, and then she can react in the chat. Oh no, sorry, sent the wrong thing. Sorry, Janine. Hold on. Anyway, you don't need to hear me do the play-by-play of sending this over to Janine, but Janine
This is riveting.
I know, isn't it good? All right, Janine has it, so we can see her reaction in the chat. Janine, who is still in, I think, Butler, Pennsylvania right now.
Why?
Oh, you people want to laugh? So Janine, I don't know if I can. No, I'm going to say it. Janine sends us a picture last night of where she was in Pennsylvania, and it starts with a B. And I responded with, "Do you think that's where the president was assassinated or attempted to be assassinated? Because that's not it."
That's wrong shot. Wrong.
That made me laugh so hard last night when I saw that. I was hysterical. I thought that was so great.
Yeah, I was wondering why she sent that picture. I was like, okay.
Oh my God.
What?
So good. It was so good. Anyway, so I tuned into the RNC last night to watch Hulk Hogan and Donald Trump and everybody.
That hurt.
And during that, the reports were running wild. Even before then, people were saying that Biden was going to pull out and he was going to announce it during Trump's speech to kind of take some of the shine off of Trump. That obviously didn't happen. A second senator came forward and asked him to drop out of the race. So that's kind of building. They believe that, well, we know for sure there was a report that Schumer went to him and said, you got to get out. Pelosi now saying he has to get out. There's been reports that Obama has been advising. I don't think that that's true because Obama's MO is kind of like staying out of it. Like he doesn't, like if you remember, he didn't really endorse Joe Biden until he won the primary. Like he didn't want to interfere in the Democratic primary going into 2020 because I don't know, that's just kind of his thing. He doesn't want to be a kingmaker. He's happy to support when there's a person, but he doesn't really want to get involved too much. And we know that to be true because we know that Clooney sent him that op-ed and he stayed out of it. He was like, you do whatever you got to do. He could have easily said, I don't think you should do this. So the growing sentiment inside the Democratic Party, more donors, they're saying up to 75 super wealthy donors now do not feel comfortable giving more money to the campaign. And usually that's the death knell, right? Because if you can't fundraise, if you can't spend money, you have no chance at winning. So that's usually, I mean, we've seen this in primaries, Frank, right? People start to drop out when their donors start to.
Yeah. I don't get it. If you're, let's say you're Biden, I mean, you have, what do you need for your campaign? Are you just get in front of you have access to any person with a camera is gonna film you when you talk, and you could just get out there and start talking, and people will. Yeah, it's not like you need to hold a rally. You don't need to travel wherever you are. Like I don't understand why. I guess I get why candidates travel from state to state just to be there. I get that, but like you don't have to, in order to get your message, you don't have to go travel all over the country to especially when we're so close to election day. You could just go on TV and say, hey, I don't need any money to do this. I'm on TV. They're gonna film me. If I tell the news or whoever, if I go on whatever show, they're gonna have me on, and it won't cost anybody anything.
That's true, but I'll tell you a couple tree things. Being there in person, you wouldn't think it's a big deal. It does make an impact because they see it. They see it in the numbers. Like once a candidate visits somewhere, they can see it. They can see a boost. The other thing too is like to run a successful campaign, and this is the real problem with Biden. To run a presidential campaign, you've got to be up early in the morning, and you've got to do, believe it or not, local radio. And then after you do local radio, you go around and this is for people who don't know, you go around and you start to film. You usually go to a TV station nearby or a satellite TV station. And you start filming TV spots for the next morning's TV morning shows, right? That's that. Then you're on the phone with donors all day long. Then you're doing those in-person appearances. Then you're doing afternoon radio, 6 o'clock news, TV bites, more rally thing. So, I mean, when you have to campaign, it is literally an absolute grind. And that is only in one area. So if you're in that area, you're making that impact. when you're not in that area and you have to be in another state too, you're running TV ads, radio ads, digital ads on. So that's where that money comes in. It's like, and it does make a difference. If you have swing voters and you could pound the message that you're better than your opponent at one thing, that can actually make the difference in the election. So that's why the media spend is such a big deal. And that's why you need that money. I mean, the amount of money they waste is ludicrous, but
that's what I'm saying.
It works.
I don't get it though, because most of the information that we get from about the candidates, I feel, I could be wrong, it's just a feeling, is from news or their social media or just them being on camera at some point.
A lot of it does, yeah, but that's earned. That's all earned media.
But I don't. I feel like those are the main ones. That's why I feel like they don't need to spend so much, but to go everywhere every other day.
You got to do it.
I know it shouldn't be. There should be a limit.
Hey, you're right.
There should be all right. This is how many you can do. So many of these types of things you could do. This is how many of those. It shouldn't just be an endless fucking barrage of shit. Yeah, maybe it should. Who the hell knows?
Janine says, maybe. I thought her reaction to the photo would be a lot more colorful.
I thought that was a reaction to her thinking that was the place.
Oh, maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe. So anyway, so that's usually the death knell, especially for like in the primaries. Once people start to lose confidence in you in the primary, then your donors start to get a little iffy and they start to pull out.
Yeah.
That's the end. I mean, it's just, that's the way it works. So the same thing can work for candidates. So because Biden can't put in that schedule and because his donors are starting to get a little weary, I think that's what's putting even more pressure on the Democratic Party that's leaning on him and saying, you got to get out, but he is like snapping back. He says, I'm going to be back on the campaign trail next week. Supposedly, he lashed out at party leaders. He's accused them of helping Donald Trump get elected. He accused them of helping Donald Trump get elected in 2016. And he's talking about Barack Obama. He's talking about Nancy Pelosi. He's talking about Chuck Schumer, because that's the other part about this. Nancy Pelosi, aside from being the former Speaker of the House, is the largest Democratic fundraiser out there. So she can put hundreds of millions of dollars in a candidate's pocket. She could calm down wealthy donors, or she could direct that money and move that money around. And she's been pretty on his case to get out.
Well, I guess it's a tough game to play, but we'll have to watch his, after he gets over COVID, he'll have to watch how he recovers and how he gets back on his feet and how he sounds in front of the mic again. And if he gets interviewed, and maybe it'll be a big turnaround. Maybe it won't. Maybe he'll be the Biden we saw at the debate, or maybe he'll be better. I don't know. Maybe he'll be better, but he's been out of the spotlight for a little while because he's been sick. But maybe after this, maybe he'll bounce back in some way. I don't know.
So yeah, he's also saying that the reason why he brought up the 2016 comment was in 2015. He is saying that Obama, Pelosi, and Schumer back then were like, Joe, you need to step aside and let Hillary have her time. It's Hillary's time. Because if you remember, people forget this. I'll never, ever, ever forget this. When did Obama get elected? 12?
That sounds right.
2012. 2011, he's starting to run. I think 2010, he spoke with the Republican. Can you believe this? Obama.
The second time was 2012. Second time he was elected was 2012.
Sorry, so 2008. You're right. So 2008. So it's 2007. I think 6 or 7. But a young rookie Democratic senator from Illinois got invited to speak at the Republican National Convention, if you can believe it. That's what happened at the time. And that was the first thing that put Barack Obama on the map. Then he decides that he's going to run for president shortly after that in 2008. So it's 2007 or so. So he's running against Hillary for the primary, and it's starting to get nasty. And nobody thinks he has a chance, including yours truly. I'm like, there's no way. He does not have an experience. There's no way. All of a sudden, this guy just catches fire, and he starts to really pull ahead. There was a meeting where they all sat down, and Hillary emerged from that meeting, and she decided that she was going to pull out of the primary. And what happens when he wins the election? She gets installed as Secretary of State because they cut a deal. You step aside now. When Obama's time is done, you'll be the one who gets pushed forward. So in that crunch, Joe got pushed aside. And he said it was Obama, Schumer, and Pelosi who made that deal and had to give it to Hillary. And that's why we got Donald Trump in 2016. And he's not wrong. Because they all thought that Hillary was a shoo-in, and she was so terrible that she lost to, I'm sorry, a game show host at the time.
What are you sorry about? That's what happened.
Well, I don't want to I don't want to demean Trump, but that's what he was. He was a game show host and a joke at the time.
Just facts.
These are facts, and these are facts that he believed too. Because if you go back and you watch his acceptance speech that night, he is stunned that he won. Stunned. He can't believe it, So he's pissed. So Joe's plenty pissed, and he is still digging in his heels and saying he's not going anywhere. That being said, though, the reports everywhere are it's not if, but when he pulls out of the race. Did you see the footage of him being helped into the limo by Secret Service after he tested positive for COVID?
No.
Sad. So it's shot from the other side. So he's getting in the car on the other side. So you're literally looking through two windows of the beast, which is thick glass. So it's shadowy and a little hard to see. But when I tell you, the man could not even get in the car, couldn't get in the car. And it was so slow. And then the Secret Service guy had to help lift his legs up so that he could fully get into the thing. And you're just watching this going, how the hell is this guy going to
do 4 more years of this?
Do 4 more years of this? How's he going to run? Like I said, I just laid out the day for you. Could you imagine being up in the morning for radio, going through the whole day, TV spots, speeches, phone calls? He just doesn't have that in him. Do you honestly believe he has? I don't think he can. Can he run for president? Technically, yeah, he can. Right? He just don't do all those things. But where the Republicans are panicking right now is you gotta
panicking.
What? Democrats. Thank you. The Democrats are panicking because you gotta do those things. You gotta call up, Slappy 105 in Biloxi and do that, piece with Schmitty and ripe tomato in the morning.
Schmitty and jerk off in the morning. That'd be a great fucking show. Say it's Smitty and Jerkoff here on Slappy 105.
You make jokes, but I'm sure if we go to Google, we'll find them. There's somebody out there doing it. Yeah.
This is Smitty and Jerkoff out there.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's hard. That's a young person's game. Can he do that? It doesn't. It's hard.
Yeah. That's not easy. It's not easy for a younger, for anybody to do that. It's it's a marathon.
It is. I
don't like waking up that early.
I'm half that man's age. I couldn't do that.
Yeah, it's. I don't like waking up early, and that sounds like a nightmare to me.
Absolute nightmare. All right, bite into this one, Frankie C. We got some Epstein news again. Who would have thought we'd have?
It just doesn't stop with this guy.
I know. Groundbreaking Epstein news. Credit Paul. Paul got to this one before I did. He's on it. The man's on it. You can't accuse him of not being there for everybody. The story is that Steve Bannon filmed a 15-hour episode with Jeffrey Epstein, a documentary, if you will, after he was arrested and before he was put in jail and Epsteined.
How much before? Like right before?
Not long before, because as the story goes, he hooked up with Bannon because Bannon was kind of a media darling. He was kind of an expert in that. Like, if you remember, he invested in Castle Rock, I think, which syndicated Seinfeld and made him, I don't know if a billionaire, but 100 million. Like he's got a ton of money, Bannon. And he was in Breitbart and all that other kind of stuff. So, and of course, he's a political strategist, right? So
criminal too. He's also getting sentenced soon, I think, right?
I think he's in jail. No, he's in jail right now. Oh, I don't know if he's been sentenced, but I think he's in jail waiting sentencing. Yeah, he's not. He's certainly not free to roam around.
No.
But he went to him, and I think it was under the guise of he was filming Epstein for his production company for a documentary. But what people believe it to be was he was there to help rehabilitate Epstein's image, because Epstein notoriously, I know, right?
How is that even possible? Oh, he's understood. Okay. Get the fuck out of here. Are you kidding me?
But are you surprised though? Because Epstein, to the day he was gone, just it didn't look like he was ever gonna give it up. I think he loved who he was and how powerful he was, and he did not want to let that go.
Well,
I think he was going to fight for that to the bitter end, no matter what.
I mean,
well, this was after Bannon came out of the White House. So Bannon got Trump elected. So Epstein probably figured if he could get Trump elected, he can maybe rehabilitate my image. Let's talk about this. Why would Bannon even go near this guy?
Absolutely. And wasn't Bannon at the time working for or with Trump?
Yeah, well, he had just left the White House. If you remember, Bannon didn't last more than a year. Maybe a year, maybe a little more than a year. I don't really remember what the timeline was. But he was out of the White House. And it was then, so then he was starting to do he had a production company and he hooked up with Epstein. But it's like, why would you go near that guy?
No, stay as far away from that guy as you can.
Yeah.
And anybody like him.
Especially you just came out of the Trump White House. We were a core part of his administration. You were the guy who led the charge to get him. Let's not forget, it was Bannon after the ET footage. What was that, Extra or whatever he was on? The grab
Access Hollywood.
Access Hollywood. Thank you. It was after that. It was Bannon who said, "Do not drop out of this race." He was the one solely responsible for that. He said,
"Yeah, but I feel like
drop out here."
Yeah, but I feel like Trump had no intention of dropping out.
No, he did. He thought this was the end. As the story goes from multiple people, Trump thought that was the end of it. He didn't think he was going to recover. And Bannon said, "You don't know what's going on. Do not drop out of this race." And Bannon was right.
So we have him to blame.
Basically, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, basically, yes.
Guy's a nightmare.
So supposedly there's 15 hours of this interview, documentary, coaching, whatever, that has been, this is from December of 2017. So just after he stopped working at the White House, or during the summer. Bannon met Epstein December of 2017, according to this article on Business Insider. And then he stopped working for then President Trump. And during the summer of 2018, he spent a lot of time with Bannon for this documentary. And whatchamacallit, Epstein's brother, Mark Epstein, says there's footage there.
I mean, I feel like, no, maybe not. I don't know. Would he be required to turn that footage over to anybody?
I don't think so.
Give it to the feds? If I'm sure there's.
I don't know. I mean, we'd all love to see it, right? It's in his vault.
Ugh, I don't want to see any of that guy. I feel like the jury's out. There's no rehabilitating that guy. I don't care what he says on camera. That guy is Satan. Okay, that's over.
Again, there's a lot of people trying to tie Epstein to Trump. There are ties there. We know that. I've said this before. All the stuff that's come out lately.
That kind of stuff, yeah. If there's something new that exposes other people, yeah, go for it.
Yeah, well, but I'm saying, like, we know there's ties between Trump and Epstein. Is it as bad as everybody's making it out to be the last 2-3 weeks? It's not, because all that we talked about, this flare up of Epstein Trump stuff, it's fabricated. It's not that report that came out. We talked about the lawsuit. Remember the girl? She brought it up and dropped it. It came back and forth 3 times. Okay, there's that. We don't know if that's real or not, if she's really intimidated, if it really happened. We just don't know. But we know that they knew each other. We know there's footage and there's photos of them. We know all that stuff. They definitely knew of each other, were friendly at some point. Apparently there was a falling out. He kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago. So those are the truth and the facts. But now you introduce this other piece of Trump's strategist goes to Epstein afterwards to try and get him out when the writing is on the wall that he's about to go down, to rehabilitate his image. I mean, it doesn't. Why? Like I said,
No.
He's already got all that money from the Castle Rock deal. He literally put a game show host in the White House. He could do whatever he wants. He could be a kingmaker. He goes to Epstein.
It smells, man. It's not good. It smells bad. Whole thing.
Who owes who what and how? I mean,
how do you not steer so far from that guy?
Away from him. Nobody wanted anything to do with him.
No, doesn't make any sense.
I don't know. That one, put that in. I can't even. I don't even have a theory. I don't even have a theory. Category.
It boggles your mind. Why would you go anywhere near this guy in any way other than to if your authorities trying to expose him and expose more stuff. That's all.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about Amazon Prime and this scam.
Did I get scammed? I mean, the Prime Day. Are you talking about Prime Day?
Yeah. Prime. Were you scammed by Prime Day? Details at 11.
What time is it?
Plus, is that old medication in your medicine cabinet going to kill you in your sleep?
Yeah. Also, who's that behind you? News at 11. Oh God.
The killer's in the house. Get out. We're back after this. A lot of people on Amazon accusing the Prime Day for being a total and complete scam. And here's why. A lot of people made purchases on Prime Day where there were 30, 40, 50% sales. Mm-hmm. And now they're going back and looking at those same exact items, and they're the same price as the sale price, but the 30% part is off. And there's a few people that were tracking items prior to Prime Day. Let's say the item was $39.99. On Prime Day, it was $39.99. 50% off, marked down from, $80, whatever, and then it's gone back again to $39.99. There's screenshots. I mean, when I tell you, this is all alleged, don't sue me, Bezos, but there are screenshots all over the internet from multiple people saying this. I just
messed up.
Yeah.
So something that was $20 before Prime Day, on Prime Day, says it's 50% off, and it used to be 40,
right?
And then after Prime Day, it's still, so it was $20 the entire time. They just said it was. Oh man!
The only thing that changed was they put an original price and a percentage off. That was the only thing that changed during Prime Day.
All right, so that's if true, that can't be legal, right?
Big if true. I don't know if that is illegal. It seems like it should be.
Seems like one of those things.
Seems like a class action lawsuit possibility. Yeah. I don't know if any laws were broken, but I think you can make the claim that that's
fraud.
Is that fraud, false advertisement? I
mean, you're saying it's 50% off the regular price.
Yeah.
Well, no, I don't think so. Aaron's asking if we got scammed. I don't know. I mean, there were products that we bought a couple of things, but nothing huge. Small things here and there.
So you bought a couple of things? I bought a couple of things.
Yeah, just a couple of very inexpensive things, like $10 here or there. But if they were the same price before Prime Day and as it was on Prime Day, that's got to be some kind of fraud or something.
It's definitely just not right.
Yeah.
Now,
That's messed up. If that's true.
if it's true, yeah. Now I bought an ottoman
Okay.
because
Now, what's the price? Is the price the same?
I don't know. I gotta go look. I'm afraid.
Look it up.
I'm gonna go look.
All right.
And what's
Remember what
weird
you
is-
paid for it on Prime Day.
Yeah, what's weird is you can see your old. I mean, this is like, I feel like easily proven. Is Aaron looking up your stuff? I'm gonna look mine up right
No,
now.
you look up. We bought little things that
All right, I have a feeling you bought sex toys. I'm starting to get uncomfortable with this whole thing.
we bought some sex toys. No, we didn't buy sex toys.
I don't think you did. Okay, let's see.
Yeah, we bought all the sex toys. No, we didn't buy any sex toys.
There's no more available on Amazon now. I'm looking.
All right.
Okay. It looks like, okay, let me see here. I mean, I guess it says, can we see, hey, Cuddles, can you see how much we paid for the ottoman? Like on our credit card bill? Because right now the ottoman is, no, the ottoman's more money than it says we paid for. But I don't know if it's just lying to us.
How do we know?
What?
Why would?
Go ahead.
What do you mean it's lying to you? I mean, it's the price that's posted or not? I mean,
What did we pay? $22.58. Yeah, we paid less. So it looks like we didn't get scammed.
$22.
A very cheap one.
Okay.
Very cheap one.
I was thinking you were going to say like $200.
Yeah. Well, I don't. Here's a weird thing. So we have this chair in our bedroom, and this chair. It's like a 3,000. It's from Pottery Barn. It's like a $3,000 chair. It's more expensive than one of the cars we own. I mean, this chair is ridiculous. It was a gift from when we had the first baby. I can't remember his name. And so it was like mom's pregnant and upset and angry. Got to get her a comfortable chair.
Got it.
So super expensive. So as the kids have gotten older, we had to move the chair out. And I'm like, this chair is worth more than any. I'm like, we can't just throw this chair out
This is
now.
the most valuable piece of anything in this house.
Dude, the chair costs more than our entire living room set combined. Like,
What is with this chair?
love seat, couch, recliner, end tables, lamps, TV stand. You add it all up, it doesn't touch the price of this chair.
Is it made from like endangered redwood trees and
Yes.
the bones of like Egyptian pharaohs?
Yeah. There's so many jokes I want to make about the chair that I can't make in the current climate in the studio. So I'm like, we're not throwing out the chair. Like, it's just we're keeping the chair. So we put it in our bedroom. But now you sit on it and it's like a rocking chair and it's very comfortable, but it sits low. And I'm like, we need something to put our feet up on. I'm like, I'm going to look for an ottoman, but I didn't want to spend like a crazy amount of money. And it's the
You
kind
didn't.
of thing I didn't, but it's because it's the kind of thing where I'm like, I know I want an ottoman right now. I don't know if I'm going to really be needing this thing in like 3 years from now.
Does it rock, the chair?
The chair rocks. Yeah.
All right.
The beautiful rock, like it's deep, like you sit in it and your arms are up here. It's like very, very comfortable, but it needs your feet, like your feet need to be up. So I buy the ottoman, right? And it's like, I should have done this after she fell asleep. I buy the ottoman and it's like a compartment one. Like first of all, it's a mobile one. Like it folds up into nothing. You could put it away. So that's why it was so cheap. But it's really nice leather top and it's comfortable. But you can like open it up and you could put stuff in it. So my daughter immediately, she's like, "Oh, we could put all kinds of stuff in here." And I'm like, "No, this is daddy's ottoman. Like it's not to be, disturbed."
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
So of course I go.
Thank you.
I go and I leave and then I come back and what do I find? How do I find the ottoman? There it is right there, Frank.
Thank you.
It's buried under the towel.
Oh, I'm like, what the hell? Which one is the ottoman?
Next to the blanket. Next to the case with all the makeup on it.
What So it's just another surface area.
Yeah, there's the there's the bottom of the chair. You can see it's very thick cushioned and fancy. And
So that became not Daddy's ottoman anymore.
I've lost control of it. It's gone.
Yeah, that's good.
It's gone. It's not mine.
Bye-bye.
No, it's no longer mine. I can't hold on to anything in this house. I don't know about you.
Oh no. Well, we don't have kids, so we're doing just fine. But as far as your situation is concerned, I don't know. You got to put your stuff in your room. I mean, where does that chair reside? Is it in a general everybody can use it area?
No, it's in our bedroom.
Okay.
It's in our bedroom.
So is that your wife putting stuff on? You know, is that Cuddles putting?
No,
that's your kid's stuff.
That's all her makeup paraphernalia. I literally owned none of my home anymore.
So do you have any rules in your house? Don't go in mommy and daddy's room. No, nothing. All right. Just a free for all.
I told you there were 6 shows that we did where I sounded like a chipmunk because all my dials and everything were messed with. And
well, that's just funny, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm talking about like messing with your stuff. I mean,
she's giggling too. It is bed. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. I know. Go to sleep.
Why this room? Is there another room she can sleep in?
No.
All right.
This is the last room. This is my last bed. And by the way, like when I leave this studio and I come back, like there's
just stuff everywhere.
Just bag, folder.
Yeah, you got to start putting Miss Justice has it right. That's where I got it. You got to start putting locks.
Get out of here. Go to sleep. Yeah, here. Go to sleep. Nothing. I don't own anything.
What about your car? What is that?
Nothing. Nothing is mine anymore. I used to have so much space, dude. I used to have so much space.
You have 50 space over there.
Now go to bed. Oh my God. All right, Matt Gaetz, Frank. Did you see him at the RNC?
It's like the only thing anybody remembers from the RNC is that idiot's face.
The funniest thing I ever saw was they showed a young picture of Matt Gaetz and Matt Gaetz at the RNC, and they were like, Real Housewives season 1, Real Housewives season 5. He was Botoxed out. What happened to him? What happened?
I think he Botoxed the shit out of himself. And something with his eyebrows. His eyebrows look very strange, like they're painted on. I don't know, man. It was not good.
It was really
I don't
bad.
even know. I mean, he's not. I don't know. I don't know why he chose to look that way, but
The worlds are colliding, Frank.
The worlds are colliding for you. I'm sorry.
I don't know either, but it's like, and did you see what he did with Kevin McCarthy? Yeah. McCarthy was giving an interview and Gaetz comes over and starts screaming at him during the interview.
It's like, what do you want? What was your goal for that whole, for that, you kicked him out already. He's gone. He's not the Speaker of the House anymore. What is your goal now for interrupting this interview?
But I love Kevin McCarthy because
he had the greatest.
Tell everybody what the comeback was.
The comeback. I can't remember it verbatim. What did he said? Something like, he's mad about that he got caught dating a 17-year-old or something. I forget exactly what he said.
Yeah, and he's going around telling people. He goes, the reason why he kicked me out is because I refused to give him any protection when we had to do an investigation because he was with an underage girl. Yeah. He said that Gaetz came to him and said, can you make this disappear? And McCarthy was like, absolutely not. You're getting investigated.
Absolutely not. Go fuck yourself.
And how could you not stand by that? Which is what, I'm sorry, it's what drives me crazy about the Trump people a little bit, because they're so drain the swamp and all this stuff. Kevin McCarthy is as stand-up as it gets because he sacrificed his own job to do the right thing. And that should be the respectable, celebrated thing.
That's what it used to be.
And all Marjorie Taylor Greene and Gaetz and all these Trumpites, they threw him to the woodshed, and all the people were so happy to see him go. And everybody who was happy to see him go was dead wrong.
100%.
And by the way, the other big criticism against McCarthy was he was willing to work with the Democrats, which is like, come on. Even the new guy, what's his name? Doogie Howser, the glasses.
Johnson.
Thank you. They were even starting to give him crap because he's working with the Democrats. And it makes me want to
It's disgusting.
Smash Marjorie Taylor Greene in the face with a fucking rock, because you have to work to that used to be celebrated and now it's shamed. And these people, it drives me crazy.
That's another thing. Before Trump, there was a lot more. We're working together to get stuff done. We have to do this. We have to get stuff done. We have to cross the
To be
aisle.
fair, this happened. This stuff happened before Trump too. It's gotten even worse.
But now it's worse. I'm not saying it was perfect. There was definitely division and this side versus that side. But there's less cooperation these days, I feel. There's, not a lot of we're going to, vote for what's right because it's right. I feel like it's just gotten worse these days.
I know. It's horrible.
Yeah, you got people like Marjorie Taylor Greene and what's her name from Arizona?
The one. Yeah. Oh my God, her. Did you see her interview with the English girl, the liberal English girl?
No.
Oh my God, she took her to task. She was
Boebert.
like,
"That's it."
Oh, you're thinking of Boebert? No, I was thinking of who's the one who was running for governor of Arizona.
I don't know.
She lost. She's getting sued now for defamation. Anyway, that was a whole other thing. I don't want to go down the path there. But finally, before we get into the game, we got to talk about the Trump supporters, because I think this was one of the more successful RNCs. Somebody I know was saying to me, like, they were all together, they were all unified, and give them credit, they were. Like, when Trump won the first time, he had to get Pence in there to settle everybody down, because the evangelicals, the hardcore old school conservative Republicans, they weren't really into him all that much.
Well, why wasn't Pence there?
Well, I understand that Pence wasn't there. There was a bunch of people that weren't there.
Yeah, like a majority of the people that worked with him in the White House were not there.
Yeah, but to be fair, though, everybody there was for that guy. There was no doubts. That was a unified Republican Party through and through, and a very, very successful convention. Like, up and down.
Successful?
Just positive. Their message was getting out.
You didn't hear the speeches.
Can you give these people any credit?
No, because they're all in one breath. They're going, we need to unify the country. We need to bring together. I'm going to be the president for the entire United States. And then the next breath, it's the Democrats are destroying us, and they want to do this and they want to do that.
What are they going to say? The Democrats are doing a great job. We could do better. That ain't going to work.
They could say we got to bring, argue their point. They have to argue their point and then say,
they're Republicans,
we have to work with.
They don't have a point. They have tax cuts. That's the only thing they've ever had.
For the rich.
That's it.
Be clear on that.
Tax cuts, deregulation.
It's not tax cuts for us. It's tax cuts for the billionaires.
That Republican ticket has not changed one iota. It's been tax cuts and deregulation. And I'm sorry for my Republican friends out there, but that's the truth.
Yeah, and deregulation is stupid because your regulations are there to save lives and for safety reasons, but that's a whole other discussion.
But they were all on the same page. Is that fair to say? Could we give them that?
Sure.
Okay, thanks, buddy. Yeah, thanks for making that sacrifice.
They're all on the same stupid page, but go ahead.
You could say it's a stupid page, that's fine, but they were all there. They're all on that page.
We got to unify the country, bring the country together. But the Democrats are evil and they're destroying the world.
Well, it's a convention.
Great unity.
What do they get? But when the Democrats,
but then don't say unity. Don't say we're going to unify. That's my point. If you get up there and say it's us versus them, at least I could respect your honesty. But if you get up there and go, oh no, we're unify the whole country, we're gonna get we get everybody together and bring back this, do whatever the hell we're gonna do. But then in the next breath you go, well, but the Democrats are evil and they're terrible people, and it's like, well, what do you want us to believe? You're
I just want to say
the country or you're not.
I just want to say Putin does not pay me. Just want to put that out there. And Frank, do you like jobs? No, Frank doesn't like jobs. Nobody likes jobs.
I got her number. How do you like these jobs? What's coming next?
I don't like jobs.
Who likes jobs?
Who likes a job? Nobody does. Terrible.
Honestly. How about record number of unemployment after Trump, record high employment with Biden?
Well, anyway, the point I was going to make was, aside from Lee Greenwood, I thought it was a successful Republican national campaign. Enough with that song already. The song stinks. It's a mediocre Hallmark movie of a song, and I hate that it keeps getting celebrated every time they have a friggin' convention. They drag Lee Greenwood out of here, who looks like the Crypt Keeper at this point, and he sings a stupid song that is not good and from the 80s and awful and stale, and I just, Lee did such a great job. Good job, Lee. And Lee's, oh, thank you. I just can't stand Lee Greenwood. I have a big problem with him.
Then they bring out fucking Kid Rock to scream at everybody. I can't.
Yeah, but see, here's what drives me crazy about the Democrats. I see a clip today, and it's like Kid Rock and his 10 supporters, and they showed this clip, and it's like, that was sound check. Like, it's so clearly sound check. There's 10 people standing in front of the stage because it's sound check. If anybody watched the thing, it's clearly the place was packed. It was a packed house when he performed. Why do that kind of stuff? I hate people when they do those kinds of things.
I hate
it's sound check. Stop it. You could pick on Frank's bringing up real problems and issues he has with the party. He's not faking things to make it look worse than it actually is, I thought that, did it bother you that did you see Kid Rock's performance?
Oh, he uses he covered a Metallica song. Well, he did his, that was from a long time. That was from 20 years ago or something. He did his own cover where he uses Metallica's Sad But True for the music. I guess that's his right to do if he owns.
Can I tell you something?
If he's legally able to do that, whatever.
Oh yeah, he's paying them for it. But can I tell you something?
Yeah,
I think he did it personally to upset you. He could have done any song. He could have done any.
The dang diggy diggy. That would have been.
Wouldn't love that.
Would have been, because it's coherent. He would have been great.
I know. Who wouldn't love that? He didn't do that one. He did that one. I think he said, let's take that Frankie C down a notch. And you know what? I'm on your team, buddy.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I don't want anybody taking a shot at one of my guys. You know what I'm saying?
Let me go get a Bud Light.
Here's the thing. You attack one AOA hole and you attack us all.
Stop attacking our AOA hosts.
So I didn't appreciate that at all. I also didn't like the way, because he screamed, hey, hey, is the original thing. And he was like, scream Trump, Trump. And I was like, ugh. Go away.
Lame. So lame. And I was so heartbroken when Hulk Hogan came out.
Were you?
Yeah, he was my hero growing up. I loved Hulk Hogan. But now, he's still, from back in the day, I still think he was great.
Listen, last night, SCX tape Hulk Hogan, racist Hulk Hogan. I don't know if you ever heard that phone call. That's
not good. That's not good. No.
All those
back
bad
in the
things.
day, that broke my heart. He's been bad for a long time.
When
I was a kid, I used to look up to him, but not anymore.
But nothing can take away 80s and 90s Hulk Hogan from you and me, because that was
peak
when
childhood.
When Hulk Hogan took on the Ultimate Warrior, when
he body slammed Andre the Giant,
I believe that was the height of humanity. Right. That was as best as we were ever going to get.
Yeah. Then, racist Hulk is not good.
I pretend like that's a whole different person.
It's the only way you can get through it.
Yeah, listen, I don't blame him. He has a feel for it. Here's the other thing. Dana White, too. You have to understand something. All these people were treated very well by Donald Trump for years. They all made a lot of money off of Donald Trump. The reason why Dana White supports Donald Trump so hard is because when the UFC was starting, and a lot of people don't remember this because the UFC is massive right now and it's so commonplace. But when the UFC was starting, the UFC couldn't even have an event in New York. They would not sanction them. They couldn't go into Madison Square Garden. They couldn't go anywhere. The fact that they were able to get to where they are as a business with all the roadblocks that they had is nothing short of a miracle. And it was Donald Trump who stepped up and said, you can come to Atlantic City and I'm going to make sure you guys get sanctioned. And he gave him a place. Now, if you're trying to achieve a lifelong dream and somebody helps you along the way, odds are you're not going to turn your back on them. And that's why Dana White still supports him to this day. I can't blame the guy. I get it.
Yeah, I get that. But then, once the guy that helped you, once he starts, talking about veterans and tries, the January 6th stuff. And
I get it.
All that stuff, you start to go,
but I accept
thanks for the help. Now you're an asshole.
I accept the fact that some people could look past almost anything to be great. Listen, you could, I mean, this, you can go out and do something really horrible. I'm not going to walk away from you ever. It's never going to happen. You is a little different. I put out one Sopranos clip and you won't take my phone calls anymore.
Listen,
but I will never abandon you. I want you to know that. I'm your Dana White, big dog. You don't worry about a thing.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate that.
All right, now Jay Sams is coming in here. We're about to start a game here, Jay Sams. I don't know what you're doing. You care for the game?
Well, I'm waiting for you to maybe mention the huge attack on our.
There was no attack. There was no.
Well, it wasn't an attack, but it was a glitch, and it's starting.
I think a couple computers went down, but it seems like it's fine.
Not a couple of let me ask you: were you affected by this at all?
Wasn't affected by it because it's not that big of a deal. The world goes on. I spoke to Vladimir this morning, and he said, let's just move past it. And I said, I agree.
Yes.
Did you not see my video that I sent you?
Yeah, that there was no cash in a ATM machine.
No, that was a gas station because the computers were down because of the thingy that happened.
Well, aren't they? They're back up. Everything's fine now, right?
No, not everything.
No, all right.
No.
At BJ's today, computers were also down there.
Oh my goodness, so how did you get your 56 packs of toilet paper?
Oh, I don't buy it there. That's a ripoff at that. That's you don't buy it there.
Did you get ripped off on Amazon Prime?
Yeah, did you get screwed on Prime? I think that's a bigger story.
No, I cannot believe that you guys don't even, this is not bothersome at all to you.
Well, so is it bothersome? Yes. So for people who don't know, CrowdStrike, which is a security software, did an update to their software, and it wound up taking out everybody who has Microsoft Cloud and who's on a PC. If you're on a Mac or Linux, you weren't affected by it, but everybody who's on a PC, which is like 75% of the world, I guess, and it took down banks, the airports, flights were all grounded to a slow, everything was slow. As Janine was saying, ATM machines, I guess BJ's, apparently. It was not good. It was not a good thing this morning. But
no.
It seemed pretty innocent. It seemed like, and I saw there was a guy who did the update on Twitter. They fired him immediately.
Can you imagine you're that guy? Oops.
Yeah, he went on Twitter, but he goes, I didn't do anything wrong. I tested it. It was fine. I wrote the up. I uploaded the update.
Let me ask you a question. Do you want me to interrupt you and tell you what part you said was wrong, or shall we just go with what you said?
No, go ahead. Tell me what. No, go ahead. I might.
No.
Go. I want tell the people where I was wrong. Go ahead.
It's not. It's not. It doesn't really have to do anything with the cloud. It was in a Microsoft update for people who use this CrowdStrike. So.
Yeah, but did I say that?
No.
Yes,
I said the CrowdStrike update, but I said it affected people who use Microsoft Cloud. So is that wrong? Is that what you're saying?
That's not true, though.
Okay. All right.
No, you don't have to use. Like, okay, so say your payroll company use this CrowdStrike.
Mm-hmm.
you got affected by it, as did my husband today.
Oh, okay.
Payroll
so it
was
was-
not like it.
So it
So-
was more than Microsoft Cloud people, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay. That's
So
fair.
it was just, it's people who use, if it's companies who use this software.
Okay, so now what's the? I mean, it was something wrong with this update, right? It wasn't malicious, right? Is that what they're saying? It's not a attack. It's a screw up.
We'll see.
No, I mean, what are they saying? I
well,
don't
That's
know.
what they're saying.
That's what they're
That's what they're
saying. But Janine, you're saying you don't believe it. You think it was an attack?
No, I don't know if it was an attack, but probably shouldn't have watched that movie on Netflix a couple of months ago.
Oh, yeah, the one with Idris
Is
Elba.
it? What? Yeah.
Idris
As
Elba
the
and
world, what is it called?
So
I
now,
forget.
let me ask you this: if getting vaccinated would bring back this Microsoft thing, would you do that?
No, I'm not an idiot.
All right.
I
It's
think
watch the leave world behind. Frank, you don't regret getting vaccinated at all.
No.
Okay,
Okay.
let's not.
We're not going to
rehash
go back.
this argument
We're not
from
going to go back
3
in
years
time.
ago.
All right.
I think it was because
But
one of
he's the one who brought it up.
I did.
fair.
That's fair.
Now
That
my
has
joke.
nothing to do with it, but okay.
Now my joke. If I think a PC was vaccinated, and that's how we got in this trouble, is no longer. All right, I got a little laugh at Janine.
Wasn't bad.
But here's the thing. To Janine's point, the same way I think that there might be one bad actor in the Secret Service that allowed all this stuff to happen with the attempted assassination, we'll never know the truth. Even if there was, that will never get out. And although I want to know the truth on these things, I understand why, because we can't be made to look weak to other countries and to other people who may want to try and do this again.
Yeah, but by weeding out the person or persons who are responsible for the holes in the security,
Well,
and
weeding
saying,
out
well, we
will
got them.
happen. We'll
No,
never
no.
know about it, I don't think.
I know, but I feel like knowing about it is better, and saying we found out about it now and we've gotten to the bottom of it and we fixed it is better than saying we have no idea and nobody's ever going to know. Doesn't that make us look weaker if we never tell what happened? If we because it makes it seem like we have no idea what happened.
I understand what you're saying, but I just don't think that they can say, "Oh, we found Jim Clark is the one responsible."
Why not?
I just don't think you can do it,
There's
because I
People
think
get-
looking a little weak is better than looking like we could be bought.
Oh yeah, like this could definitely be made up totally. That
Yeah, but if this guy's now all of a sudden he's whoever it is in jail for the rest of his life or whatever punishment there is, isn't that like fuck with us, do something like this to us, and this is the consequence?
Maybe, but I think the consequence is Thomas Matthew Crooks was gone in 15 seconds. I think that's what they want to be out there
Right.
for everybody, and not the other.
But
way
if
around.
if everybody's assuming there's some kind of breach in security, and we go, oh, maybe, I don't know, we have no idea. Isn't it better to go, yeah, we found the breach and we fixed it and we took care of it?
they weren't really. So I personally don't believe it is a Secret Service failure, because there's a lot that goes into these situations as far as local police, and if the local police don't do their job as well, then that's a huge issue.
But
So they
who's
were saying-
but isn't there one person or coordinator who's supposed to be running the whole show? Like, doesn't
No.
it go through, like, let's say I'm head of Secret Service or whoever the head person is. Isn't it my job to, like, say, all right, police has got this covered, Secret Service has this covered, and we make sure everything is covered where it needs to be. And that's my, isn't that like, shouldn't there be an overall, just someone that's in charge of all of it?
I mean, you got to ask our friend, who definitely has
And even-
dealt with
even-
this before.
Even if it was the local police who screwed up, someone assigned people to that spot or didn't assign someone to that spot.
Well, it was the police who said, the local police said, we can't cover this, and told the Secret Service, and they didn't do anything about
Right, and the Secret Service dropped the ball.
it. Last thing is the Trump supporters. Yeah, I'm sorry. This is a criticism worthy of criticism. At the RNC, which I said was a great event for the Republicans, a bunch of people showed up wearing bandages on their ears to support Donald Trump.
Did you see? I didn't make. My daughter did it because
I did see.
Yeah.
Which was hilarious because you're poking fun at how absurd and ridiculous it is.
It was really dumb.
But these people were just like, I mean, wearing a concert T-shirt to go see the band on stage. Like they were just so like, we just want to show support and that he's not alone. And I'm like,
it's like
you've got to be kidding me.
It's so unbelievable.
These are adult people.
He could draw a penis on his forehead, and everybody else in the crowd would do it.
That's like when Nelly put that Band-Aid on his face, and then other people were putting Band-Aids on their faces.
Yeah, but I get that because it's a performer and young stupid kids. This is a presidential candidate and adults, and they're standing there with bandages on their ears.
I'm surprised that he's not selling Trump bandages.
Oh, that'd be great.
Next.
How is that not happening?
That would be fantastic.
That's the biggest shock of all.
First of all, it's been
1 week since you looked at me.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
It's been a while, like a week since I've been on, and so much stuff has happened. I am shocked that you did not call an emergency Anthony on Air podcast Saturday night. I'm a little disappointed in you.
Well, if you listened on Monday, you would know why I wasn't in any shape. I wasn't allowed to. Cuddles made the call on that one.
She said, no, we're not doing this.
She said, are you in any shape to do this? And I said, absolutely. And she was like, okay, no.
Just shutting it down.
When you can't say absolutely clear enough, you cannot.
That's the test.
Right.
Yeah. But I still fired out all those clips, which was pretty good.
That's true. And, yeah, that's true.
There's a lot of editing and a lot of things were moving. The room was kind of spinning, and I still managed to pull that off. So I'm proud of that.
I mean, we do have to thank Trump for getting our chat back together a little bit. Don't you agree?
I'll tell you what, we were friends like 2002 again. It was pretty amazing.
But now it's gone again. That lasted
totally gone. Yeah,
it lasted like 3 days.
I know. That was the most Janine's brother and I spoke in the last 7 years.
And it's true. And I also, I don't care. I'm going to give myself a pat on the back here. I had some really good memes.
That you came up with, or that you were just passing along?
I'll take credit for them.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, passing along.
There was some good ones. You did have some good ones. Yes, you're right. I was laughing a lot.
Way to go, Janine.
Thank you.
I mean, again, I was higher than a kite.
Highlight of my life. No.
It was a good. You're the Michael Scott of our group. You forward. You have the forwards like nobody's business.
Plus, that's what she said.
Oh, lots of good. That's what she said. Yeah.
It was just, but I do have to say, and I told husband this before, I have a bad feeling that something bad is going to happen soon, and I don't know what it is. So, have a good night.
Good night. Me too, though. I feel the same way. I said this.
All right, Nostradamus. What are we talking about here?
I just have a bad feeling. I can't explain it, and I've had this feeling before.
And then what?
I won't say when, but you can take a guess. Something bad happened in my life 7 years ago.
March of I thought you were talking about March of 2020.
No. So I don't know.
All right, we've had Erin waiting to start a game.
Oh, hon.
So
how dare you keep my wife waiting?
Well, I put her on because usually she chimes in early with the last topic. I always like that. So.
Well, it's been kind of heavy. Are you guys sure? Like, you guys want to do a game, or you want to just?
No, I think we were just laughing at Trump supporters. I think we're in a good mindset for it.
I'm good to go.
Is it a long one?
That's what she said.
Is that okay?
It's
10 is good. What kind of game is it?
Blind top 10.
Blind
yeah,
top
we got
10.
it. People are waiting. Look at Robin's going crazy. Oh, by the way, how funny was How funny was the person who sent in that Photoshop of Frank and Dexter?
Boo.
with the bandage on the ears. Did you
Oh
see
my
that?
god, that was hysterical.
Oh my god, I was cackling.
How dare you use? Do what you will with me.
Were you mad at that? I almost
But
ran
my
it by
dog
you,
is
but I was
awful.
like, "There's no way you're going to get upset with this." And then it's like you put Dexter on the stream, so I didn't think you would get mad. Were you mad at that?
I wasn't mad, but I'm in no way showing support for Trump.
Well, I don't think
I'm glad
anybody-
he's okay.
I think we know that.
Frank.
I'm
I don't
glad
think,
he's okay.
I don't think anybody mistaken you that picture for you supporting that man.
Okay,
I don't
good.
think anybody's. You
Because
don't have to
everybody
worry about
knows
that.
that that's a joke.
You don't have to worry about that risk anymore, big fella. Everybody is well aware.
All right.
All right, Aaron C. Blind top 10 here. What do we got? Top 10 Trump bandages. By the way, I also need to apologize.
God.
I
Oh,
did
jeez.
say that Trump would never be seen in like at a sign of weakness, that we wouldn't see him in a bandage. And not 24 hours later, he was walking around in a bandage. So I was
Which
wrong
is
about
weird
that.
because he went for like a day without a bandage and then decided to put one on for the convention. That was
Well,
weird.
do you know that for sure? You saw him after that?
Yeah, there's pictures of him. He was playing golf the next day.
No,
And
that
they-
wasn't true. That was an old. Those were old pictures.
Oh, I don't know then.
Yeah, that was debunked. I saw that too. We were just talking about this yesterday. That was
Oh,
debunked.
all right.
Those are old photos that recirculated.
Oh, then I don't know.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So yeah, I don't think
Then
he
I
was
take
seen
it
by
back.
anybody.
Then I retract.
There you go. All right, see, the journalistic integrity on this show is at an all-time high. All right, Aaron C. We got a blind top 5, which is a blind top 10. You're going to give us a category. You're going to give us 10 items. We have to rank them in order without knowing what's coming next. What's the topic for this episode?
Okay, I did this before with J Sabs, where it was if J
Oh.
Sabs is gone, who would be good to replace her with all the people starting with J. So I'm doing it this time for Frankie C, but since not many people's names start with F, this is people whose celebrity or famous people whose last name begins with C, and who you would like. And it's just for one show. It's not for a week.
Damn.
But Frank's usually out on Wednesday, so who do you think you would like to see as a host with J Sabs and Anthony on one of the Wednesdays when Frank is gone? All of these celebrities have their last name starts with C, so I'm going to say, blanky C, and then tell you who they are, and you pick one if you think that you would like to see that next Wednesday the most, and 10 if you would like to see that next Wednesday the least. Also, I'm just not in a lot of mood for like any of these people are better than Frankie C. Like we've had enough divisiveness tonight in the chat, so I'm not really in the mood for, you know what I mean?
Well,
Like
I'm
this
just
is
gonna
not
go on
like a who's better than Frankie C game. That's not what this is. It's just I had this planned before this show, so.
All right.
All right, I'm excited. Congratulations to Bird, 28-month member. She's thrilled
Nice.
for game time. Look at her, all excited for game time.
Excellent.
Amazing.
And hello, Leanna Geyer. Just found your channel. What's up? Welcome.
Oh, welcome.
A new listener, new viewer. Appreciate it.
Careful, this is like a virus, and once it gets in you, you can't get away from it.
Leanna, I hope you have your piece of paper with 1 to 10 written down.
Yes, 1 to 10, folks. If you're playing along, get a piece of paper with 1 to 10. 1 being your favorite person to co-host with Anthony and J Sabs. 10 being your least favorite. These are people with the last name starting with C.
I have such a good joke, but I don't want to spoil it in case Aaron's going to make it. So go ahead. I'll tell you who it is afterwards.
Okay. Okay, the first person is this Wednesday alongside Anthony and J Sabs is Nikki C, who is Nicolas Cage.
Oh, now that's
a
something
great
because
one.
Oh, 10.
Frankie would be like, does Frank know about it?
Regardless, I mean, it's who would you
mean,
want?
like he'd show up if he was there?
Yeah, I might have
You know
to
it would
chime in
be-
on that one.
It would be me just saying, I'm going to steal the Declaration of Independence.
Nick Cage
Which
would be.
was successful,
huge.
by the way.
I hate
Yeah.
him.
Why
I
do you
can't
hate
Good
him?
believe-
movie. Good movie. I hate him.
Why?
Frank. Look at
Hate
this.
him.
I can't
Oh.
believe the 10s and 9s and 8s coming in right now. I am
have him
stunned.
I literally have him at 1.
Well, yeah,
I used-
that's your guy.
I used my 1 already out of the gate.
But that wouldn't piss you off to be like, shit, I wasn't there for that show.
No, I mean, I think it would be a great thing for the show. I'd want to be on the show, but if there's someone that would step in for me, that would be really cool.
That's what's interesting about this. Your blind top 10 is going to be different from mine.
Yeah,
because you're not there. You have a different. You're coming at this from a different way.
right. I'm coming at this from who would I want to see do the show, and you're coming at it with who would I want to co-host with.
Right. All right. I'm going to put Nick Cage at number 2 because he would be number 1 for me. But I don't want to get Aaron. It's too early. It's the first one.
I'm probably going to get Aaron, but I got Nick Cage at 1 because he'd be exciting.
Yeah, I think he would be fantastic. Janine, where'd you put him at 10?
Yeah, there's no one that could be further.
What is your problem with Nick Cage?
I hate him.
Okay.
I could do 4 hours.
Erin also just messaged me and she said, I didn't say it on the show, but he also gets to the co-host also gets to be replaced with Frank that night in bed. So
Gets the
Yeah,
fuck
I'm
Aaron.
sure
That would have
she
been
would.
a quicker way
I
to
did
that
not
joke.
say that. I did
I'm
not say
sure.
that. I wrote Janine, and I forgot how I was listening to AOAs all day today, and I forgot how you
Are
tell
you
him
suicidal?
What
What happened? Are you
For
okay,
real.
Aaron?
Yeah,
She
I love
said-
them.
I like how you say Adrian, but also there's someone else who I'd rather have sex with than Nicolas Cage.
I can't believe how. No, I just loved how she said Adrian, like Rocky. I was laughing at that, but now I'm gonna say it. It sounds a lot like your Nicolas Cage saying, "I'm gonna steal the Declaration of Independence." So
Oh,
Adrian.
I believed for a second that Aaron sent that.
All right, who has a TV on in the background? I'm going to go ahead and go on a limb and say it's not Aaron.
It's husband.
Okay.
I'll be leaving soon. I'm sorry, but I have
Okay,
to
no
finish up. But go ahead.
All right, we're next. We're ready for the next one, Aaron.
okay, the next one is J Sabs' alter ego, apparently Stevie C, Steve Carell.
Ooh, Steve Carell's another great one.
One.
Man, these are great. I'm putting him at 2. This is rare that I am already. I've got 1 and 2 already filled in.
You always leave one open to the
I
bitter
always
end.
leave 1 open, and 2 is gone now too.
Aaron
And
is
I don't know how to
setting,
spell
She said.
Carell.
That's what she said.
How many
Aaron
R's
is-
and how many L's in
I
Carell?
don't know. But Aaron is setting you up big time. She knew to put Nick Cage. She knew to lead with that one.
Yeah, look at this. So I
She
got
knew
1
you
and
were
2
going
is
to
already
Oh, look at that.
already filled in.
I mean, can I put Steve Carell at 3? I'm playing defense. I'm going to put Carell at 3. I can't believe I'm doing this.
This is rough. This is crazy.
I'm putting him at 3. Janine has 1. Okay, see, look, it's interesting to see the audience's interpretations. 1s, 3s, 2, 4. Highest is 5 and 7. Okay. All right, Aaron, ready for the next one?
Okay, the next one is Benny C, and that's Benedict Cumberbatch.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Okay.
Smaug.
9.
I'm going to put him at 9 too. Not interested in Benedict Cumberbatch.
I put him at 8 because he's good, but as a co-host, I don't know how good he would be.
We're going to have to carry him through the whole episode. He's going to want to be questioned, and
He has some good stories though.
he's not going to jump in. No, he doesn't have the Frankie C flair. Let's not mix
I'll
words
give you
here.
that. I'll give you that. Benedict Cumberbatch in at number 8. So I have 1, 2, and 8 filled in.
2, 3, and 9.
DJ Shenanigan Penguin. Yeah, there's a clip of him on. I forget the name of that show. It's over in England. I don't know, but he's
Graham
getting
Norton.
interviewed. Graham
Oh,
Norton. Thank you. Yes, Graham Norton, where he's talking about. They bring it up, and he can't pronounce the word penguin. He does like a nature. He does the voiceover for a nature documentary, and every time he says penguin, it's a different way. It's like penguin, penguin, and he can't say it, and they're just making fun of him for it. It's pretty funny.
Why
It's on
isn't
YouTube.
Why isn't Graham Norton on like a real network in the United States?
I know he has such a good show, and he has like the best guests.
Yeah. I think he's on like BBC America. You can see the show, but how are you going to find that? I mean, he should be on like TBS or something.
I mean, he's on YouTube. You can get him on YouTube.
True. Yeah, true. But don't you enjoy, like, they're all out there. They're all talking together. That fat fuck, Corden, he stole his whole bit.
Really?
Yeah, because Corden would have multiple guests on and they'd all stay out there and talk together. That was Graham Norton's first.
I feel like that was Letterman. That was Johnny Carson first.
Well, yes, they would all stay out. The panel would be there for a long time, but Graham Norton brings them all out together
all out at
and
once.
talks.
Yeah, that's good.
And
I like
Corden
that.
stole that, and he's from England.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead, Aaron.
Okay, Christella, the last one was Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yes.
Okay, so 4 is Jimmy C, and it's Jim Carrey.
Holy shit!
Oh, Jim Carrey. See that?
This is a murderer's row.
2
I got-
because I love him.
I put him at 3 because that's the highest one I got left is 3. This is rough. These are all good. And again, I'm never going to spell anybody's name correctly. I don't know how to spell. How many R's are in Carey, and so I got 1, 2, 3, and 8 filled in.
Oh my God, Lindarella, the finger licks guy. How funny is that? Jim Carrey did a 2-second spot on The Office, and that's one of his
funny.
lines. Oh my God.
Oh yeah, good point, Miss Justice. Anthony, you need to take you jerk. It's been up there for the last 10 minutes.
It's the equivalent. I've been
15
driving with my left blinker on for the last 10 minutes.
It's because your parents are in from Florida. That's the Florida thing. It's seeping into your
I
brain.
think my daughter fell
They're in
asleep.
town?
Oh
Yep,
yeah.
they are there.
Yay!
I wish we could let Miss Justice like run the show and let Robin write for the show. We would be in such good shape if that was the case.
That would be.
Anyway, Erin, I'm actually mad at you because this is the toughest
Not easy.
blind top 5 ever. I have to put Jim Carrey at number 1.
That's not a bad move.
And I feel like the next 4 are going to be all people I'm going to want to put at number 1 too. I just can't put.
You never know. We'll see.
I can't in good conscience rank Jim Carrey lower than Nick Cage or Steve Carell, that matter. They're both powerhouses, but Carrey's just been doing it for longer.
He's going to be a home run no matter what you put him on.
He's first ballot Hall of Famer. He's Mount Rushmore. He's the George Washington on the, like, how do you not? I mean, it's Jim Carrey.
You get that opportunity, you take it. Even if I'm scheduled to be on the show, just say, Frank, you're out. Jim Carrey's on for you.
That is, buddy,
Okay.
you're getting bumped.
I understand. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Anthony, I'm giving you the rare chance to stop the game now. Do you want to stop it now and have
No.
a golden list?
No, I'm a trooper. I storm the beaches, man. I don't question the leader's commands.
All right. Everybody ready for 5? Or was that
Ready.
Yeah.
Okay. Next up is Georgie C, which is George Clooney.
George Clooney.
Oh,
Today's
super cool guy.
Sure.
Come on. I mean, it doesn't get cooler than George Clooney.
nothing is.
You can't spell Clooney without cool
Oh,
if you rearrange the letters.
Yeah, there's going to have to be some shuffling there, but yeah, good point.
Thank you.
If this was some rookie playing, I would rank George Clooney very high, but it's Aaron, so I'm going to put Clooney at 6 because I'm playing defense right now.
I got him at 7 because I think he'd be okay, but I don't know how. I feel like there's going to be better.
He'd have some good stories about like pranks behind the scenes, but I don't know if he could play in current event stuff.
Well, he's big headlines nowadays because of the whole.
Well, yeah, that's
Biden
true.
thing. So that'll be a big get.
I've got a question for Aaron.
Are you broadcasting from the moon?
Who would you rather? Oh, that's not.
What?
Go ahead.
Aaron,
Yeah.
who would you rather, Jim Carrey or Steve Carell?
I was with you tonight. You were just gunning for me. I don't.
Somebody
know.
was. I think she's just really horny.
I know.
Yeah.
Listen,
What kind
It was
of
a
movie
long-
are you and husband watching?
To be fair, I think she spent a week's vacation in a room with her kids at a hotel. So you a little strung out there, Janine? Are you a little
a little bit charging something as we speak. What?
a lot
Oh, boy.
of C blocking going on from them kids on that vacation?
No, actually, we stay someplace where we have a bedroom and they stay in the living room. It's a pull-out couch. I know.
Somebody's doing really well for herself. Excuse me.
No, it's a hidden place that I will never tell you about. No, I'm just kidding. tell you about it.
Okay.
All right, number 6.
Okay, number 6 is Tommy C, which is Tom Cruise.
Can I tell you something? Every
Cruise.
time Erin says the first name and C, I still don't know who it is. I
I-
haven't
me
guessed
too, me
one of
too.
those yet.
Me neither.
Yeah.
All right, so Tom Cruise. How would he? I think he'd be a good.
I think he would be good. I'll tell you what, I've enjoyed a lot of his conversations because I think he's brilliant talking about filmmaking.
True. Wow, look at all the hate in the chat. Mercury 20, Christine Colson 10, Justice 10, DJ Shenanigan -8, Robin 5.
And just keep him away from your special chair because he might jump on it.
That's true. I can't have him jumping on it.
That
An
is not a jumping
10,
chair.
an 10 from Christella.
Man, but Bird says 6. Christine Colson says yuck. Oceani says 10. Lindarella 10. Christella, ew, 10. Wow.
A boot
Everybody
10.
hate- Wow, I put him at 5 because I don't know. I thought he would be a good interview. A good, he seems like he's talking about his new movie, the Mission Impossible sequel. TD Freelancer 4.
You're my little boot 10. I'm with you, Frank. I'm with you and Robin 5. Middle of the road. I think it would be good.
Yeah, I got him at 6.
Okay.
So right now I have 4, 5, 9, and 10 open.
1, 6, 9, and 10 for Robin. And Lindarella thought it was a top 8. And now, you're going to have to reconfigure that list there.
Oh boy, Lindarella.
That's going to be tough. All right, Aaron, what do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4 left.
This one I just thought it would be funny. Plus, it was on the list of celebrities whose last names begin with C. So this is Daney C, and it's Dane Cook.
Dane Cook. Oof, maybe 15 years ago.
Yeah, he's the one I just was like, it was either him or Nick Cannon, and I was like, I don't know, man.
Oh,
I already
Nick
have a
Cannon.
Nicky C, so I did Daney C.
Dane Cook.
I
Dane
like
Cook,
Dane
though.
Cook. I think
I
he'd
like
be
Dane
great.
Cook too. He had a good for a long time. That special that he did at Madison Square Garden, that was like we watched that
So
a million times. That was so good.
He won't sit.
That's a great. That's
Just the pretzel with the cheese. Just the cheese.
just the cheese.
Just the
the
cheese.
cheese.
No pretzel. Just the cheese.
I'll put him at 5 because I could see him doing.
I thought you had Tom Cruise at 5.
I have him at 6. Tom Cruise. Yeah.
You said 5.
I did not say 5.
We're gonna roll back the tape. I'm contesting this list. I'm under protest.
You
for
said
the rest
5.
of it.
You have him at 5. I think.
You, Robin said 5. We all said 5.
I did not say 5.
All right. We're gonna go back and take a look at it. All right. I'm putting Dane Cook at number 4. I think he'd be really interesting. I think he'd be fun.
All right, you got people in the chat, kind of middle of the road. Bird says 9. Paul says who? Dane Cook, stand-up comic. He's in a few movies, but mostly a stand-up comedian.
Oh, he was one of those guys that could not convert to a movie star.
Yeah,
He could not do it.
He was in that.
Good Luck,
worked-
Chuck.
Good Luck, Chuck. There was one where he was like was it waiting or wait staff or?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
And there wasn't there one where he was like he worked in a Costco or something.
I think that's Employee of the Month, but I haven't seen it.
You're right.
There
She
you go.
nailed it. Good for you, Aaron.
DJ Shenanigans says 5. See, we got 5, 6s, 8s. Christine Colson 8. Bird 9. Oceani 3. Big fan.
He was halfway decent in Dan in Real Life. I love that movie
Dan in Real Life. I feel like I've seen that, but I don't remember him.
with Steve Carell, but it was Steve Carell's movie. He was really good in it.
He had a very quick cameo in Mystery Men. Do you remember that movie?
Yeah, was that like
The superhero-ish movie.
yeah,
Ben Stiller.
Yeah. Yes, Ben Stiller. Thank you.
They had like an open audition for superheroes to join their team, and he was like Toaster Man or something. He just came in with like a waffle iron or something. I don't know. It was weird.
That's funny.
Yeah.
All right, this is unprecedented for me. I got 7, 8, and 10 left. This is very. I am primed to get errand here.
Yeah. I have 4, 9, and 10.
So you're a little bit more protected than I am. You put somebody in that 4 spot, you're okay.
That's true.
Okay, Aaron.
All right, here we go.
This is the only one with an asterisk because I made sure everyone was still alive. I didn't include anybody. But this person has had a stroke. So it's hard for him to speak, but we would act as if he did not have a stroke. Understood?
Got it.
So this is Timmy C, and it's Tim Curry.
Tim Curry. Love Tim Curry.
I'm going to put Tim Curry at 10.
What?
I know. Do I
The
love
legend?
him? Do I love him? Yes. Would we talk the shit out of Home Alone 2? Yes. Would we touch on Rocky Horror? Yes. That's
Clue?
really it.
Yes. Everything else he's ever been in? Yes.
I think I don't know if he would be a good podcast host, though. Would I
think
cast
he'd
him
be
in a
great.
movie role? Yes.
I
Podcast? I don't know.
I put him in that 4 spot.
Wow. Okay.
I had to. Tim Curry.
You played that card early.
I did. Well, I have 2 spots left, 9 and 10. I'm probably going to get Errand, but we'll see.
All right. I got 7 and 8, Aaron. Go ahead.
Okay, this is Francie Ford EC. Do you want to guess who that is?
Francis Ford Coppola.
Is that
Yes,
Madonna? Oh, okay.
There's my Aaron. I'm putting
Francis
Francis
Ford.
Ford Coppola at 7 behind George Clooney and Tom Cruise and Dane Cook. There it is. That's the one I'm going to regret.
I got him in at 9, Francis Ford Coppola. See, he'd be a good interview, but would he be a good podcast host?
I think he would.
Co-host.
I think he could play.
Yeah?
I think he could hang. He's
I don't know
Italian.
I don't know if I've ever heard him say 2 words.
I think he's wonderful in interviews, but I get, they're like, I just downplayed Tim Curry for the same reason. Can he play? Can he host?
I feel like
I think
an actor would be better than a director for hosting purposes.
yeah, you might be right about that, but I think he's got a personality to him, I guess is why I'm regretting.
Tim Curry
having-
has a better personality than most people.
Yeah. Maybe it's because he's English and hoity-toity, and Francis Ford Coppola is like Italian, and I think he can hang better.
All right.
Maybe it's just because you want to say Francie Ford EC,
Francie 40C would be great.
because I like saying it.
Francie 40C. That's a good one. I got Tim Curry in at 4. He's the man.
Oh, I almost kicked you out, Frank. Sorry. Ignore me. I'm trying to.
I mostly ignore you, so that's fine.
All right, Aaron, last one.
Okay, the last one is Johnny C, and it's John Cusack.
Oh, I'm happy with this. I like John Cusack. Don't get me wrong, but I think that I'm okay with him being
Too actory, egotistically to hang.
But he'd be a good fill-in for me because he's very anti-Trump. You go on Twitter, John Cusack's. You see him a lot.
Is that
on
right?
there. Yeah,
We wouldn't know the difference because that would
be an easy swap out.
45 minutes in, I'd be like, wait a second, are you?
Yeah, it's an AI. I'm behind the scenes with like all those dots all over my face, going, "Hey, I'm John Cusack."
Who's more of an anti-Trump guy, Cusack or Meathead?
Oh, Meathead. But they're both. I mean, only because Meathead is more in public. He would go on any news thing. John Cusack is just very social media-y on it. About it, but I don't see him doing any interviews and stuff about him. But Cusack is very. If you go on his Twitter page, it's very. He talks about all that shit too.
Okay,
But
so
Meathead is just a little more a little more upfront in front of people. More
all right, so
the
Rob
public eye.
Reiner is worse. You're saying he's a worse anti-Trumper?
Well, only because he's more in the spotlight with it.
Got it.
I hope everyone has a really great weekend, and I'm not being glib. I hope everybody, let's
Yeah.
bring the unity. Like,
You
for
okay,
real.
Aaron? You feel you got a little. What happened? You got angry at the chat? What
No,
happened?
no, I just want everybody to just, you know what I mean? Like, I want everybody to be like happy this weekend.
To chill
Yeah.
out.
Like, yeah, just realize that we have a lot in common, and we have
Yes.
a lot of people want the same thing. And with that, I will Francie 40 see myself out.
You did a great job. Thank you, hon. Excellent job as always. Ladies and gentlemen, Erin C.
Yeah, so good.
Great job.
I wanted her here for my reveal of who I thought she was going to say. Are you ready for it?
I'm ready.
Oh no. Oh, ding ding. Ready? Go.
I'm ready.
You
Oh, you're terrible.
stupid technology. Okay, here
What's wrong with you?
What? That'd have been good. Though. What is a good? You don't think that's good? I thought she was going to throw that in there.
That doesn't. How does that?
Well, second
Where-
coming. He's coming back around. Pop in.
Yeah, but we're talking celebrity.
You're saying
People that
Jesus
are-
Christ is not a celebrity. You ever go to Rome?
He's more than a celebrity.
He's bigger than Diet Coke.
All right.
That's an old.
Good job.
Who's the guy who yells a lot? The comic.
Lewis Black.
Lewis Black. Thank you. That's an old Lewis Black bit.
Okay.
He's like Coca-Cola.
I love. He was a really underrated movie. Is Accepted. Remember that movie, Accepted?
Yes, he's great. Except
He's in that, and I mean, he's small part in that movie, but he's in it, and it's a funny movie.
I love that movie. That's Jonah Hill, early Jonah Hill.
That is
Right.
early Jonah Hill, very early Jonah Hill.
Ask
And one of
me
the best
about my
lines.
wiener.
One of the best lines is when they walk into the abandoned building. It's towards the beginning of the movie, and when he screams. Remember when he walks in and he screams? And he goes, "I really wish you wouldn't tell anybody I scream like that," or something. It's just the way he says it. It's very good.
Yeah.
But that is a very underrated movie. Good stuff.
All right. Good. That was. Let me tell you something. That maybe one of the tougher blind top fives ever.
It was tough because there was a lot of good candidates on that. You want most of them to be in the number one spot.
That I'm ready to commit to. That was the without a doubt or debate the toughest first three that we've ever had.
Yeah, that was tough.
Nick Cage, Steve Carell, Jim Carrey.
Yeah, those are all would be really good to be co-host a thing with. But hey, everybody, if you like Erin's writing and her thought process and everything, she's got a great book she wrote called Oval, OVEL. It's available on Amazon. You can pick it up today. The link is in the description below. It's a great book, great read. You could buy a hard copy or a digital copy you could download. Both are available, so please pick up Oval today.
What kind of copy?
A physical copy that you could hold in your hand.
That's what she said.
Ah,
Nah, I thought you got away with it.
you got there.
Back towards you. What's interesting is in Oval, Steve
This is going to be
Carell.
wrong. Whatever this is going to be wrong. God.
Steve Carell is a podcast host in Oval. It's very
Perfect.
It's great. It's really.
Thank you, Robin, for putting the link in the chat.
Robin's always very good with the link. Robin and Miss Justice are such great mods. Like, thank you guys. We don't thank you enough
Yes,
for all your
really
work in there.
and everybody who does the mod work. We're awesome. Great job.
Yes, very very.
Pick up Oval today. It's a great book written by Erin.
It's on Amazon and it's not part of the Prime scam. Everybody, go get it. All right, have a wonderful weekend. Chill out, like Aaron C says, and we'll see you on Monday.
Show me potato salad. Maybe we should go now.
Go ahead.